You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Friday night episode of the SmackDown RunDown. I am your host, Nikolai, and we need to get Crunch to do a little drop for us and say, you are listening to the SmackDown RunDown on the Angry Marks Podcast Network, because that's what this show is. Like I said, I'm your host, Nikolai, and I am here once again on another week with my co-host, King J.
Yes, the king has arrived.
The king has arrived and all has gone silent.
You would think that the only thing that hasn't arrived is another WWE pay-per-view, but it seems like it is another week, because it's only 2 weeks later.
They need to space them out more, because they're like scrambling to put this one together.
Yeah, and you know, they could at least do away with one. That way, let this one build up. But no. 2 weeks' time, we are into another WWE pay-per-view. It feels rushed. Like, what are they trying to accomplish with this?
I have no clue. I mean, supposedly, they're not even, like, serious about this pay-per-view. They're just claiming things for Vengeance in October.
If anything, Vengeance should be looked over, because Hell in a Cell is a pretty big deal. I mean, it's usually a feud ender, or, you know, they like to play it up as it's, you know, one of the most dangerous matches in WWE, so people can get hurt in these kind of matches. Why would you overlook this pay-per-view?
Exactly. This should have been where Vengeance is. I think, personally.
Yeah, you know, just switch the two and, you know, just let it, you know, let the promo for Vengeance be kind of lousy, just like they've been doing with this pay-per-view, and build up to the next one.
Right. Because they're supposed to be, like, building up a bunch of new feuds or something, and right now I could care less. Because everything for this one seems so rushed. So, Lord knows what they're actually going to do when they have, like, 3 to 4 weeks to actually build something up.
Right. And, you know, I think I'm just going to go the way of WWE this week. Since they're rushing their build to Hell in a Cell, I feel compelled to rush through this show tonight, because it's just not that important anymore. Well, I mean, why build towards pay-per-view? Why not caring about building towards your pay-per-view? Why should we care about the shows?
Exactly. Because that other show that we don't recap has been a hot mess of late. And our show hasn't been that bad, but they need to do something, pick it up, something.
Yeah. So tonight, instead of running all through SmackDown like we usually do every week, let's just briefly touch on some important topics while doing a Hell in a Cell preview. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, and also shout out to in the Angry Marks chat room. It's myself, King J. Sierra's joining us, and so is our producer Killer Kev. And if you missed this on the live replay, you can always catch it on the download on iTunes. Keyword Angry Marks. So, I'm really not into SmackDown tonight. It was a good show, but it's just, I don't know. I'm just annoyed for whatever. This whole day has just been kind of like a whirlwind. I've been moving around nonstop, so I just want to get this over with.
Yeah, my day hasn't been that good either.
But the matches tonight really did build towards the pay-per-view better than Raw, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we even had like 7 matches on the card.
Mm-hmm. The tonight's show was actually decent. I wasn't into certain matches, but other parts kept my attention.
Yeah, tonight was a better build towards the pay-per-view instead of Raw.
Definitely.
All right, so let's start with the Hell in a Cell preview. And what do you say we get the Sin Cara versus Sin Cara match out the way?
Who?
All right, yeah, I get it. The who? Yeah. We can't tell who's who anyways. Or at least the announcers can't. Everybody else can.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, Sin Cara had a match on SmackDown, and he basically squashed Heath Slater in about 30 seconds. Literally.
I don't even think it was 30 seconds, to be honest. Because it was so fast.
It was about that. I mean, what? He hit a springboard back elbow, kicks him in the head, and hits the little swanton senton bomb. That was it.
Yeah. And then he starts celebrating.
Yeah, like he just won a title. Dude, you beat Heath Slater. It's not that much of a victory.
Hornswoggle can beat Heath Slater. So...
yeah, I'm pretty sure he did at one point. I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably.
But yeah, Sin Cara versus Sin Cara has been confirmed for the pay-per-view. And number 2, Sin Cara Dos, showed up on the Titantron and revealed a new mask and whole outfit combination. And he actually gave a promo.
I actually didn't mind the promo. And I like the new gear.
Yeah, the promo made sense. He just said, you stole my identity once before as Mystico. Now it's only right that I do the same to you. I think it tied up a lot of some loose ends, what some people might be confused about. It made its point.
Yeah, it did. It was short, simple, to the point. It says, we're going to see who's the real one. Only interesting thing is, who is WWE really going to let win?
Right. So that's my question to you. Who do you think will win, Sin Cara or Sin Cara?
Sin Hunico. Just make it interesting.
The one who debuted in the black attire this week.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're going to give it to the original Sin Cara. I don't know. I don't see this feud having any legs. I just see it, I would actually like to see them keep Hunico, but as Mystico.
Yeah.
Or Mystico as Hunico. I don't know. This whole damn thing is confusing.
I gave up trying to figure it out weeks ago because I was like, this is too much damn work.
Yeah. And Sin Cara was in a battle royal on Raw for the Intercontinental title. The second one came out and took his place and was eliminated. I actually liked how that played off. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, that I didn't mind. That was interesting.
So the next match on the pay-per-view, on a whopping 5 matches, Kelly versus Beth Phoenix for the 3rd time. This has gone on way too long.
I can see that, but at the same time, I think them doing that, it gives Kelly legitimacy as a champion. So that part I can understand, but at the same time, just give Beth the damn title and let her do something.
I know. Last week, or earlier this week on Raw, Beth Phoenix had pinned Kelly in a tag match. So now that earned her a title shot. So on SmackDown, Kelly defeated Natalya in about 2 minutes.
Pretty much. But I think that match made Kelly look decent as a champion because we all know she doesn't have the greatest matches.
Yeah. But the submission that Natalya had started using, that is I like that one.
Yeah, I like it. There's a wrestler in Japan, Kana. She used to use it all the time. And it's a move that's pretty common over in Japan. I don't know what it's called, but I always thought it was cool when I used to see people use it. And it's kind of cool seeing Natalya use it, showing that Japanese influence.
Yeah, it was a good submission. She basically does an Indian deathlock, but almost turns into a bow and arrow submission. It's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
So, for the third time, who do you think is going to win the Kelly Beth Phoenix match?
I think this time they actually are going to pull the trigger and give it to Beth.
I think this time it's me not caring, because the last pay-per-view was the time to give Beth the title.
True. They should have dropped it to her on at Night of Champions.
In Buffalo.
But the interesting thing is, right now they're picking up wins, so you don't know what they're going to do.
Right. And Sierra in the chat room says she's going to look it up, but she's calling Natalya's new submission a reverse bow and arrow. I would buy that.
Yeah.
So that seems appropriate. But I want to say Beth Phoenix wins, but if you think about it, last year with Kane as the World Heavyweight Champion versus The Undertaker, they had 3 pay-per-view matches in a row, and Kane won all 3 of them. So it's kind of hard to say Beth will win the third and final, because Kelly could still win.
True.
But I hope they give it to Beth.
At the same time, every time The Undertaker lost, something happened. Once was Paul Bearer, the other time was Nexus. Right. Kane only got like one actual clean win over him, I think. So,
yeah, I mean, you never know. WWE has definitely proved us wrong within the past couple of months with how they choose their winners.
Very true. Like when they gave Cena the title, it was because of the ratings on Raw.
Yeah, that bothers me. Hopefully the next match on the pay-per-view won't bother me. Christian versus Sheamus. And I'm loving this feud. It's been going on for weeks. They've fought before, but it was kind of like a role reversal. Christian was a face, Sheamus was a heel. This time it's different. Christian has been attacking Sheamus, costing him Intercontinental title matches. I like this feud.
Yeah, I kind of like this feud too. It gives Christian something to do. Now, if he would stop whining and complaining, then I'd totally be into this feud.
Yeah, the whole crying of one more match is getting a little out of hand.
Because this is reminding me of when he turned heel when he was feuding with Chris Jericho and had Trish and Tonka with him.
Right.
And he was kind of like whining and complaining then. It's like, I don't want to remember that feud. because he disappeared like 2 weeks into it. So Trish and Tom Cole had to carry the whole damn thing.
Well, I like the way this one's going. On Monday, Christian cost Sheamus the Intercontinental title as the final man in the Battle Royal. On SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match for the Intercontinental title, and Christian cost Sheamus the title again. And he shouted, "How does it feel? I cost you the title twice. How does it feel?" That's epic. If he didn't say that, it would have been just a little, okay, he did that. But the way he yelled about it, I think it added to it.
Definitely, it's kind of like payback for screwing me. I screwed you over.
So who's your prediction for Sheamus versus Christian?
I don't know. Kind of think Christian needs to win the match.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Christian, if he won, then that would be a pretty big win for him.
And then he could actually have legitimacy. Well, I deserve one more match. I beat the number 2 top face on SmackDown.
Right. So I think we're both in agreement that Christian would most likely win.
Right.
All right. So that moves on to the 2 main event Hell in a Cell matches. But before we get to those, I want to get your opinion. Do you think they're going to have a WWE Tag Team title match? Airborne or Airboom versus Swagger and Ziggler?
Yeah, most likely. You know they always throw a match on last minute.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And it looks like it's heading down that way, too.
And I wouldn't mind them having a match, to be honest. But they'll probably end up taking the title off of Kofi and Evan.
And make Ziggler a double champion?
They did it before with The Miz.
I know.
So
that's what I'm wondering. But I don't think they take it off of Airboom if they have that match.
Or they do it where there's like some screwy finish and then they get a rematch the next night on Raw or something.
If they have a match at the pay-per-view, then I would say Airboom wins. So let's move on to the 2 main event matches. And just to get out the way, because we know that throughout the week, all the other shows on the network and all over have gone through this. So let's just quickly discuss the WWE Championship Hell in a Cell match. John Cena defends the title against CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Who's your pick?
I'm going to stay with my pick from AMP last night. Punk.
So you're going with Punk.
For some reason, they'll probably leave it on Cena, but I think having Punk versus Del Rio for the title would be an interesting feud that they could probably get some mileage out of.
Well, in my opinion, it should have been Punk and Del Rio in the first place for SummerSlam or Night of Champions. But
I agree.
So, for whatever reason, they want to put on Cena, even though Punk is the more popular guy. I think in this match, John Cena will retain. That's my prediction.
He probably will. And like I've felt for the past 6 runs, could care less.
Right.
I'm just kind of like immune to everything in the main event title picture on Raw as a whole.
So that leaves us with the other match. The World Heavyweight Championship is also defended in a Hell in a Cell match. Mark Henry makes his first entrance into the Hell in a Cell. And he defends the title against Randy Orton, a man who has been in there 3 times. Randy Orton would have the mental edge, and in my opinion, he will... I don't want to say dominate, but I think he'll have some pretty good offense. But Mark Henry should retain.
I've been supporting him this long. Ain't gonna stop now, Mark Henry. And all I know is that they better use the damn cage for the match. Because I remember one Hell in a Cell that Randy was in, he didn't use the cage for like 2 times.
Yeah, and that was because they had to save any spots for the later Hell matches.
Right.
Well, it looks like I like the push that they're giving from Mark Henry on Raw. Wait, what the hell did he do on Raw? See, it feels so long ago, and I paid not much attention. I don't even remember. Exactly. That's how Raw is.
I started watching the Playboy Club. I don't remember what happened on Raw.
Oh, that's right. I remember. He was supposed to fight the Great Khali, but instead he just attacked him and planted him with the World's Strongest Slam. So tonight on SmackDown, they actually had the match. And Mark Henry still won, planting him with the World's Strongest Slam. And he came out strong. He had a great promo to start the show. And then he had the match with Khali, beat him down, hit the World's Strongest Slam, grabbed a steel chair and wrapped it around Khali's leg to splash on it. And Khali sold it really well.
He actually sold something. I was happy.
Yeah, me too. But I wasn't happy with the main event. After the match, Mark Henry came down to attack Randy Orton. And he hit him with the World's Strongest Slam. Decided to leave, but changed his mind. Grabbed a steel chair. And Orton pops up with an RKO. Not selling a damn thing.
As always. But real quick, the opening segment with the interview, he was owning Booker.
Yeah. He basically shut him up every time he tried to say something.
Said, "You was not gonna come out here and kiss my ass." To hell with you.
That was hilarious. I laughed about that one.
Then he gave him a look. He said, "You better lower your voice."
Yeah, Booker started to say, you know, as a former 6-time world champion, I know what it's like, and I know how hard it is to get to the top. And then Mark Henry just turned around and said, "So you're saying, since you won the title 6 times, that you're 6 times better than me?"
Exactly. He's like, no. That's not what I meant. Yeah, it is, Booker.
You're here to kiss my ass and insult me in the same sentence?
He's like, if I was insulting you, you would know it. Well, if I push you through that table, you would know it.
That was brilliant. That was a great promo to start off the show.
Mark Henry's been on the roll lately with the stuff he said. We just need a drop board just full of stuff he says.
Definitely. So, that's our little preview for Night of Champions. Like I said, this is going to be a quick show tonight. We basically covered SmackDown with all the preview discussion we just went through.
Well, actually, I think Kev has something to play.
Speaking of Mark Henry.
Triple H is out of his mind if he think I'm paying any kind of money. I don't care if it is a shitload. I ain't paying nothing.
Mark just got gangster.
I found that interview earlier this week. I sent it to Sierra. He was dying laughing listening to that.
You don't want to make Mark Henry an angry man, and right now he looks very, very angry.
He's an angry Mark. Thanks, Booker.
Angry Marks. Gotta love him.
We need to get Mark Henry on this show because he is an angry Mark.
You'll be here.
So, one final question to ask you, King J. Mark Henry and John Cena both won the world titles at the last pay-per-view Night of Champions 2 weeks ago. If you were to pick either one to lose the title within those 2 weeks, which one would it be?
The one who I don't want to lose their title.
So you think Randy Orton would win?
I won't put it past WWE, but I pray that it's John Cena.
I would say John Cena would be the one to lose the title.
Because I'm just, as a whole, overall.
Yeah. And then Killer Kev just says in the chat room he would pick John Cena because at this point Cena doesn't deserve it, and it's true. He's a 10-time champion. We really don't need Cena as a champion.
Yeah,
and I was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? I mean, in my heart, John Cena doesn't need a title reign. He can definitely stand to lose it. Let's give Mark Henry a good 4 or 5 month run with the title. That wouldn't hurt me at all. I think I think Henry's definitely deserved that. And by logic, Cena is in a 3-way match. He's more at risk to losing that title to 2 guys who have previously held that belt as well. So, in a one-on-one match, you got 50-50 odds. In a 3-way match, Cena's got a 66% chance at least of losing that title.
Exactly. And the way that title is thrown around on Raw, if you think about it, Cena would be most likely to lose because this whole summer, Cena was the champ. CM Punk defeated him. Rey Mysterio became interim champ. John Cena defeated him in 1 day. CM Punk won the title in a month. Del Rio won the title right away from him. 1 month later, John Cena wins the title back. I would not be surprised if 2 weeks later, either Del Rio or CM Punk wins the title.
See, my thing is, another reason why they probably put the belt on him is because The Rock is coming back within the next 2 months. So they're going to play up that whole angle, and then but at the same time, he is the most popular person on the roster. So it makes sense for them to want to leave the belt on him. But he's at that stage in his career that Triple H, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels were at. They don't need a title to validate their careers. That's where he's at. And I was arguing with somebody earlier this week about that. I'm like, he legitimately doesn't need a title to make him popular, but they put it on him to keep the fans who are loyal to the product to stay because he's champ.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't put it past WWE to take the title off Cena. At least, as you predict, King J, I would say put it on CM Punk. That would be my choice, my hope. So, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for tonight's episode of the SmackDown RunDown. King J, any last words?
No, just I hope people keep listening to the show and the rest of the shows that are on the Angry Marks podcast.
That's right. That's all we do here at Angry Marks. We provide great shows for you, recaps for all you to read, and everything else in between for you to enjoy. So, on behalf of King J and our producer Killer Kev, we want to say thanks for listening to the SmackDown Rundown. Enjoy Hell in a Cell, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.